This is Sky One, a part of the British Sky Broadcasting Network.
Welcome to Games World. Tonight is review night, so please enter the House of Games.
Thank you, Wings, and thank you for joining us here at the House of Games again.
Tonight in our bumper bag of goodies, I'll be reviewing Battletoads on the Mega Drive and bringing from the catacombs Kid Dracula on the Game Boy.
While the reviewers are thinking about which game to drive their stake into, I'll be taking a look at the Sega Euro Championships. And also this week sees the start of our new news pack, commonly known as the Database, a weekly look at what's new, what's hot and what's happening in the computer world. But first for Neil's passion.
As we at the House of Games all know, the international rugby season's now finished. So why not get a little home practice in on your Mega Drive ready for next year with International Rugby Challenge. If you've never been able to get to grips with all the rules of the real thing, then don't worry. They're all here, but the gameplay's been simplified so that even beginners can go for a good ruck and chase the up and under. As well as playing on the pitch, you get to manage your team as well, so first things first. Study the players' form, choose your team and try out a few international tour friendlies before tackling for the trophies. Once you've sorted out your fly halves from your props, it's time to take on 16 top international teams in 3 different tournaments.
International Rugby Challenge is quite a brave attempt to put a rugby game onto the Mega Drive, but unfortunately it doesn't work very well. You see a kind of super kick-off overview where you look at the players from above, and initially this does look very good, but after a while what happens is you just find out how frustrating the controls are. Each time you try and pass to a player, it sort of manages to pass it to the wrong player.
I didn't really enjoy this game very much. I didn't think that rugby translated well, certainly not as well as football, and I found it very difficult to keep control.
The kicks, you couldn't control very well, you couldn't control the power very easily, and the line-outs. It was quite a good game, but it was it was fast, but it wasn't as fast as some of the games.
I didn't find it very enjoyable, to be honest with you.
No.
Kick this one into touch.
This isn't really rugby at all. These little sort of squidgy men run around the pitch. The ball movement is totally unrealistic. There's no real tactics. The game simply does not play like rugby. The sound is terrible. It's dire.
I'd give this 5 out of 10, and I think people who like rugby will definitely like this, but anyone else is going to find it very boring.
I'd give it 5 because I didn't enjoy it very much, and I wouldn't bother playing it again unless I was paid to.
This deserves 1 out of 10.
I so wanted this to be good, but it just doesn't work. Rugby on the home console? Nah, stick to the playing fields.
Virgin's newly released game, The Seventh Guest, is heralded as the first truly interactive film. We found out exactly how they did it. The Seventh Guest launches us into a new era of computer entertainment. Its sexy good looks lure the game's player down dark passages and into spooky rooms to uncover a steaming pot full of dark secrets.
This isn't real!
The Seventh Guest took over 2 years to create, with the numerous puzzles found throughout the game taking over 9 months of continuous computer time. Real actors were photographed using movie blue screen techniques and superimposed against the generated 3D virtual environments.
Wait, I know who you are! I know who you are! You're the Seventh Guest!
The game is the brainchild of Graham Devine and Rob Landeros at Trilobyte.
The whole horror genre really appealed to us, doing an interactive version of Clue, combined with David Lynch-like effects.
There are clues throughout this house as to what must be done. The house is alive with clues.
We have this house that's going to be haunted, and the villain's going to be an evil toy maker, and his house is going to be filled with evil toys.
Robert Stein came around and showed us how we could render, that it was truly feasible to render a room in 3D Studio.
I produced one room. It was satisfactory enough to convince us that we could get by quite well using the 3D program for the entire house.
Rooms such as the foyer and hallway system in the 7th Guest are extremely large and will take up to 20 to 40 minutes per frame to render, and there's over 1,000 frames for that whole system.
My, isn't this a cheery place?
You need something with power and passion and drama and story and animation and graphics and multimedia and sound overlays, and we were the people to do that.
We were chosen by God.
Let's hope we can continue the theme with our second review of the evening. If you thought Lost in Space was far-fetched, well, get a load of this. Lost Vikings, the wacky platform puzzler on the Super Nintendo. 3 Viking warriors, Eric, Olaf and Baliog, out for a scampage, get ambushed by alien scum to be the subjects of ghastly experiments. An interesting scenario, I'm sure you'll agree. But lurking beneath it is an excellent 1 or 2 player game which links human-style puzzles with fast and furious arcade action. Set over 37 levels, you've got to guide your Vikings back to their homes.
Well, this is more like it, the Lost Vikings. I mean, but at some stage, I thought we needed a 4th Viking, like Magnus Magnusson, to come along and show us how to work it.
3 Vikings go off on a hunt and they're kidnapped by aliens. When they wake up, they've got to try and escape from the ship.
Yeah, I like it when you kill the 3-eyed monster, because then it comes up RAP on the stone. There's some nice little touches like that all the way through it. And when one of your Vikings dies, he gets sent away in a Viking funeral ship, and that's a nice touch. It's fun to play.
The graphics are brilliant on it. I mean, it's really good for a puzzle game. The sound's really good, although it's not really suited to a kind of Viking game. It's the best puzzle game I've seen on the SNES, and it's really, really good.
There's quite a lot of puzzle solving going on in there. You've really got to think your way through the levels, plan ahead, use the guys strategically. Not a lot of action. That's my big bugbear about it. Those who like the more immediate action, the Contra Spirits type of game, will probably find themselves getting bored after a while, simply because there isn't enough going on.
There's been nothing out like it before, so overall I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
I think it deserves a 7. It's a nice game, original, but for me, it wasn't quite action-packed enough.
Nice game. If you're game for Olaf, joke, then you ought to check this out.
For us mere mortals, the only way we'd have a chance against some of these video games is by using the inbuilt cheats.
Oh, you better talk to me, Julian Cheatmaster Rignall, as we delve into the heady world of hints and tips.
Oh, that Marty Kane, she's so radiant, isn't she? So beautiful. Oh, hello there. You know, people often ask me, Tony Dongmio, trainee stuntman, where do you get computer game cheats? Well, I'll tell you. You can get them from computer magazines, you can get them from special info hotlines, you can get them from me at the Peat Parlour, Sky 1, Thursday, 6 o'clock, or you can get them from my mate Barry, who's down at Sutton Market every Tuesday and Wednesday. Get there early.
Now, we program cheats into games for a variety of different reasons. The first one for ourselves is that our programs and our testers need to be able to play the game right the way through. And one of the other reasons is that it's really great for the kids.
There are all sorts of cheats. Some of them are really, really hard to find, very obscure, and some of them are actually quite easy. I mean, you can actually find out cheats for yourself just by messing around on the title screen, on password screens and stuff like that. I actually found one on Echo on the title screen. Basically, you get the title screen up, press A, B and C all at once, and the start button, and you're invincible.
The very first game to have a cheat was Space Invaders back in the 70s. By shooting the aliens in a certain order, you gained 1 million extra points. It's true.
The video was put together using hundreds of man-hours of gaming. Basically, I and a team of expert players sat down for weekends at a time, playing lots and lots of Mega Drive games, finding all sorts of cheats, tips, anything that we think could make your playing better.
Talking of cheats, I actually cheated in my GCSE sociology. I didn't get caught, though.
On the downside, cheats can really ruin a game totally. If you discover a cheat that gives you infinite lives, you can just walk all the way through the game, and if that's a new game, that's it, it's ruined. The same with level select. You just go straight to the end, finish the game, and, well, there's no point in going through it again. So really, use cheats with discretion. Don't thunder through a game just for the sake of finishing it. Try and make the most of the game, otherwise you'll waste your money.
Oh, one final thought. If you can't beat them, cheat. Excuse me.
Sorry. If you're looking for a tough beat-em-up with a difference and you've always fancied yourself as a bit of an amphibian warrior, then Battletoads on the Mega Drive could be the one for you. The Dark Queen's made off with a couple of your warty pals, and it's up to you and a friend to take on her minions and bring them back. Set over 6 grueling levels, you've got to master the special attack moves of the Battletoads. Throw stones at the screen to take out the mechanoid splat rope-eating crows, and try your best to stay on the devilish jet bikes in this very varied and very tough platform game.
Oh, by the way, Neil, there's no need to write the tips down. If you buy me a drink at the end of the show, I'll tell you them all anyway.
Sounds good to me, Julian.
Battletoads. Now, this is a game that really surprised me. It's a great game for score fiends. There's a lot of secret bonuses and stuff to really boost your score if you're prepared to find out. And that's what I liked about it, actually. The difficulty level is particularly well put together. You just get that little bit further with every game. It's certainly not a classic game, but it's one that will keep you at your Mega Drive for weeks and weeks and weeks.
The graphics, they're basically what you see on the Master System. They're not very good. They're quite dated. It's also very frustrating. There's too many enemies that come on the screen at once. There's much better games than this available on the market at the moment, so I'd give it a miss if I were you.
I didn't like the graphics very much. That it must be said that with the toad element and the long tongue, it kept bringing David Mellor to mind, which was a bit off-putting for me. What did you think, Dan?
It's got quite a lot of playability because it seems quite a new game, really, because all the levels seem a lot different.
What I enjoyed was the bit where you're looking at it through the eye of the monster you're trying to take. So you see you for a red mist, which was a lot of good. And I think I'd need to go and dip my joystick in the Lord's waters to be able to play that. I just couldn't get past there at all.
Highly recommended, 8 out of 10.
OK, I'll give this 5 out of 10.
It's quite a good game, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
You know, we're always complaining that games are too easy, there aren't enough levels, you'll finish it in a day. That's one complaint you can't level at Battletoads. But the problem is, it's just too tricky. You probably won't get halfway through it, one for experts only. Before we take a break, look at the following clip and see if you can work out the well-known games hero lurking behind the disguise. We'll tell you who it is after the break. Welcome back. Did you guess who it was? Let's have a look. And it is, of course, that ninja from the nth dimension himself, Zool. Now, here's the type of game that feels right at home here in the House of Games. It's all about ghoulies and ghosties and double-fanged beasties. It is, of course, Kid Dracula on the Game Boy. Your aim as Kid Dracula is to defeat the evil Garamoth, the tyrannical lizard king, who's trying to take over your Transylvanian castle with the help of his cronies. Watch out for the likes of Frankenpunk, Transfusion and the ghosts of Christmas past, present and future as you battle to regain your home. 7 magical powers that you collect along the way, transforming into a flock of bats, grabbing the extra hearts for power-ups, will help you in your defeat of the bad guys.
This one, yes, the graphics are good. Yes, the sound's quite nice. Yes, it's very playable. Yes, it's the same as everything else. There's a few things in there that are fun, but really, I mean, it's just the same old stuff over and over again, and really, I'm getting a bit bored of it.
Well, I just found this too simple, far too simple by half. I mean, look, there's plenty of jumping and punching, but that's about all there is to it for me. I just didn't...
Dad, I disagree with you on that one, because for the Game Boy, the graphics on this are quite good, and it's got good sound.
Oh, OK, there's a few funny drawings in that, but, you know, you're not really doing very much in it, are you? It's not like there's much going on here at all.
Yeah, but think that this is a good game, because there aren't many games like it on the Game Boy.
No, there's nothing to get your teeth into it, even though it's called Dracula. There's no bite to it, I don't think.
The controls are really easy, the graphics are really good, and it's quite fun. There's not too many things to kill, but at the same time, it's still quite challenging. So you'll just keep going back to it again and again.
It's very average. It gets 5 out of 10.
Overall, I'd give this one an 8 out of 10 for the graphics and sound.
You're joking. 7's being generous. I'd say 6 more like.
No, it's 8 out of 10.
Both of you are wrong. I'd give this a 7 because although you might think it's got good graphics and good gameplay, it's not very original, and we've seen it all before on the Game Boy.
I'm just glad that Gary and Danny managed to sort out the differences. And now, what we've all been waiting for, the database.
First up is the game all SNES owners have been waiting for, the superb futuristic flight sim Starwing, which finally gets its release this week. With its incredible new SFX chip, Starwing is the fastest and best-looking game yet to grace the SNES. Committed games players will know that import games using the chip cannot be plugged into any regular adapter, but help is now at hand with this sparkling new SFX-compatible adapter, the 16-bit converter from Jive Consoles. It should set you back about 15 quid and give you hours of import gaming fun. If you saw the rave reviews we gave Summer Challenge on the Mega Drive a couple of weeks back, you'll be glad to know that it's out this week. And those Mega Drive owners in a really competitive mood should pop down either to Northampton Racecourse or Rollers, Denbigh, North Leisure, Milton Keynes this weekend to visit the Sega bus. The bus, packed with games and challenges, will be at both places from 10 a.m. onwards. Those visiting the bus will also have the chance to qualify for next year's Sega UK Championship finals. You can see an all-action report on this year's finals later in the show. Database rounds off this week with the new House of Games High 5 chart. Each week, a highly trained, crack game-playing squad pick the 5 games you should be checking out in the week.
At number 5, it's that old Mega Drive favourite, Desert Strike, out now on the Amiga. Streets of Rage 2 has been out for a while on the Mega Drive, and it's number 4 in the chart. Another sequel finds itself at number 3 this week as we join in the crazy, suicidal fun of Lemmings 2 on the Amiga. Back to the Mega Drive for our number 2 this week with the hugely popular PGA Tour Golf 2. And finally, High Five's Game of the Week is Super Parodius, an outrageous scrolling shoot-'em-up on the SNES. I wonder whether our next game will reach the High Five. Jungle Strike on the Mega Drive, the eagerly awaited sequel to Desert Strike, is finally here. The son of the madman from Desert Strike has enlisted the help of a powerful South American drugs baron. Together, they plan to build a nuclear arsenal and destroy Washington, D.C. Take your pick from the 2 heavily armoured attack Apache and Comanche choppers and take on 9 intricate missions across the Americas. Rescue hostages, recover stolen nuclear weapons and capture enemy commanders to neutralise the private army. Leave your chopper and get on a motorbike, hovercraft or even a stealth fighter. Master the controls of each of the machines very rapidly if you want to survive in the hostile territories of the jungles and snowfields.
Well, this is my game of the year so far. It's absolutely fantastic. I love Desert Strike. It was just brilliant. Playable, tough, challenging, lots and lots of things in there. And this one improves on it. I can't believe it. It took me ages to get off the first level. There's just so much to do. So many secret things to find. There's lots of pickups, lots of bonuses. You shoot something, something else happens. Absolutely wonderful. It's very, very challenging. Even Desert Strike experts will certainly have their work cut out completing this.
There's 4 different vehicles. For instance, you've got a hovercraft, a plane, a helicopter, and they all can do different things, which obviously gives much more interest to the game. It's much better than Desert Strike in that sense. The controls are really easy to use. There's loads of things to do, and basically this is just one of the best releases of the year.
Much better than the first one, which was just deserts, and I think this is a game with real dad appeal because there's plenty to do on it, and even though it's a lot of difficult things, you pick them up fairly fast, and I like the way it changes, and there's so much of it and so much different challenges to do, and you've got to go and pick up all the ammo down and, and the oil and stuff.
It's got realistic sounds really, and it's got a lot more options.
A massive 9 out of 10. It would get 10, but no game's perfect.
I'll give this 9 out of 10. It's the best game I've seen this year so far.
Overall, I'll give this one a 9 out of 10.
I'd give it 9 too, because there's so much going on right from the start.
This game rated 4 9s. It fully deserves them, and it's going all the way up to game heaven.
You may think you're a good games player, but I doubt that even you could beat the guys you're going to see next. After lengthy qualifying heats, the 10 best games players in Britain were brought to Oxford for the UK Sega Challenge final. The winner gains untold riches and fame, of course, as well as the chance to represent Britain in the European Championships later this year. House of Games grabbed a ringside seat to follow the progress of Games World's own champion, Martin Mathers.
My name's Martin Mathers, and here I am warming up for the 1993 Sega Championships. I got here through many processes. I've scored a really high score on one of Sega's buses, and I'm also quite well known, you might have seen me, on the Eliminator and beat the Elite for Games World.
My name's Carl Roberts, I'm the defending British Sega champion. I entered the competition last year and I finished first in the British Championship. Then later on I entered the European Championship and I finished 4th place.
You play for 10 minutes, and the person to score the most points is the winner of that round. Go! I have to admit, that was crap, because I completely screwed up the start and I missed the 50,000 point bonus. I would have caught up with Carl over there if I had got that 50,000 point bonus. I think I'm only 3 points behind, so I can catch him up. It's a very long-going thing, where you have to play it for a full 10 minutes, which is a bit impossible if you ask me, because it's a very difficult game. But if you can survive the full 10 minutes, you're obviously going to get a really good score.
Martin Mathers is on 13,810.
I did pretty well because Carl came first last time, came last this time, so I'm doing well. It's the first person to finish the race in the fastest time. It's not none of this long-going, easy stuff that we've had before. For a start, I don't know why there were deer in the road anyway. I mean, they shouldn't be there.
The more time that you go straight in your particular race, the more points you'll get in the UK Sega Challenge. That's basically the rule.
I think I came first on that, but to be quite honest, Carl Roberts only needs to get 1 and he's beaten me, so, and it's not possible for him to get 0, so might as well forget it. I'm still the eliminator though, and that's all that can be said.
That's all we have time for this week, but we'll see you next Tuesday for more fun and frolics, including Jane looking at the latest in video game technology. Catch you then. Now, Julian, about that drink. Julian! Rignall, where are you?
More action from Rescue in half an hour's time here on Sky One. But first, who will rescue Tony from her ordeal in our hit drama, E Street? Don't go away.